Hello everyone. How are you doing today? How is it going? Uh, Long time at work or rather short time? How was it today? You could tell me, yeah? And so, you could also write me whether you can hear me properly. Hi Sylvia. How are you doing, yeah? Hi Carolina. It's so windy today, isn't it? In my place, in the city I live in, it's so windy that I thought that it's gonna take me away somehow. Because, oh my god. I'm doing very well. Recently, a lot of work, but I enjoy it. Yeah, like preparing some new materials for my students. Recently, more on business English probably, so it takes more time because it's more challenging part of English, I suppose. But I love it. Yeah, but I love it. Maybe one day I will also share with you the access to my Quizlet. Would you like to have it? Because I've got my own Quizlet, like with some materials that you can use, and maybe I will share that with you. Why not? Okay, so you're neither C, so it's always like that. It's always like that. Yeah, so I'm not surprised. So hi, Angelica. Hi, Ivona. So when it's okay, I think that we can start. So of course, I will start from introducing myself. I am Tom. I've been English teacher for several years. I've been teacher here for around 1 year, I suppose. Maybe not even one, but apart from that, of course, I've got several years of experience as a teacher and a few years of experience as a photographer as well. So I am also landscape photographer, as I already told you, yeah, probably. And what else? I love teaching, not only English, but also some other things. It's like my huge passion, and I really enjoy doing that. Maybe in the future it will be more of that. Like, I hope so. Yeah. Okay, but the most important probably is the topic of today's webinar. So we're gonna talk about third conditional. Yeah, conditionals are very difficult for students and they're very frequently used. And I think that after this webinar, it should be clear to you how to use them properly, in what situations, and the structure of it. It should be more clear. Yeah, I hope. Yeah, I hope I will practice a lot. There will be a lot of exercises. Then I will also give you some links so that you can practice it after this webinar. So that's the plan. Yeah, that's the plan, and I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, this webinar will take not so much time. I think that 15 minutes. Yeah, maybe, because I think that I will cover everything in shorter time than normally, and I hope that there will be no, let's say, problem with connection or the platform, because I'm so sorry for the yesterday, because I couldn't say goodbye to you, to those of you who were present then. So I'm doing it now. I'm thanking you for your attendance on Wednesday. And right now, I think that we can move on to the content of today's webinar. Yeah, don't forget that there is Q&A session at the end, during which you can ask me some questions, like about anything you want. And there are 2 poll questions about, let's say, about this webinar, whether you enjoy it or not. And yeah, so that's all. And I think that we can start finally. Yeah. Okay. So let's start it. So, why is starting from Q&A? Just give me a second. I will come back to the beginning. I don't know why it's like that recently, but let's start from the very beginning. Okay, so the first thing that I will start with is like every conditional, every grammar structure you can find in a song. I don't know whether you're a fan of music. Probably you are. Probably you listen to music a lot. But maybe you are not aware that in each song you can find some grammar structure. If you just type in Google, yeah, songs with present tenses, songs with past tenses, songs with conditionals, you will get a whole list of songs that you could listen to and memorize, learn by heart, like singing and then learning. Yeah, I think it's a really good method For those of you who like music and singing. For those who not, maybe audiobooks would be better, but I think that we can talk about it on some other occasion. Today I wanted to tell you that there are two songs I'm gonna talk about today that contain a lot of the third conditional, sorry. So the first one is the Hollies, Why Didn't You Believe? So as you can see, if you hadn't listened, you would have discovered the Bible would have told you a different story. I don't know how this song really goes. You can check it out after the classes. Yeah, I really encourage you to do so, to listen to that, so that the structure is for you more obvious, more clear, maybe easier. I really encourage you to do so. And the second song, maybe more popular for many of you, is Adele, yeah, If It Hadn't Been. Adele uses a lot of colloquialisms, yeah, while she sings. So, never would I hitchhike to Birmingham if I hadn't been for love, yeah. Never would I catch the train to Louisiana if I hadn't been for love, yeah. And as you can see, we can see the structure of of the third conditional here. And the structure that is after if is always past perfect, yeah, and that what is before is would plus have plus past participle, yeah. So that's the general idea of it. Adele uses the short version of would have, yeah. She uses woulda. Yeah, so you should be careful because it's more colloquial version of it. Yeah, instead of would have, she says woulda hitchhiked. Yeah, so it's colloquial version of it. So listen to that song after this webinar, so that you are more familiar with that later on. Yeah. Okay, but let's move on to the structure. Yeah, let's move on to the structure. As I already told you, we've got two examples here. So if I had won the lottery, I would have bought a car. If I hadn't gone on the party, if he hadn't gone on the party, he would have met his wife. Yeah. So the first question to you: Did I win the lottery? Yeah, I mean the first scenario. And the second one, did he really go to party? Do you think that it really happened? Can you tell me whether this is like a real situation? Or maybe this person is like memorizing or maybe thinking about the past. What could this person done in some other way? What's the situation here? So did this person win the lottery, or did I win the lottery, or did he go to the party? Could you tell me whether that is true or not? Or they're just talking about that, what they could change in their life. How do you think? Is it a real situation that happened in the past or not really? Okay, with the first one, if I had won the lottery, I would have bought a car. It's probably about some lottery that happened 1 month ago or something. So I could have won, but I didn't. Yeah, so that's the situation, and it's totally about the past, and it's like thinking what would happen if. Yeah, what would happen if? But this is like the past situation totally, yeah, and we cannot affect or change that, yeah. If he hadn't gone on that party, he wouldn't have met his wife, yeah. Yeah, he wouldn't have met his wife, but he had gone there, yeah, and he met his wife, yeah. So that's the general idea, and it cannot be changed. I mean, it cannot be changed. I mean, their situations like imaginations, like imagining what would happen if you hadn't done something, yeah. but life is not so colorful. We cannot change everything, even though it would be nice with a wand from Harry Potter. But I don't have this one still. I haven't received a letter from, let's say, Hogwarts yet. Yeah, I'm still waiting. Okay, so as I said, we use this third conditional to talk about past situations. It's always in the past. Remember about it. Always past situation. And about something that is rather not real, yeah? So if I hadn't studied so hard, probably my English wouldn't be so good now, yeah? Or if I hadn't changed the city, I wouldn't have started my work in I don't know, in Profilingua or some other school, yeah? So this is just an idea, yeah? So we use it to talk about the things that happened in the past, and when we want to, let's say, speculate about them, yeah? Yeah, so that's the idea. How to memorize the structure? I think that there is an amazing idea. I don't know why these emoji are always jumping here, but let's say that that's what they like doing. Yeah, probably. So if then we've got subject, then we've got always past perfect. Then after comma, there is always subject, would have, and the third form, in other words, past participle. So I would have gone if you had told me. Always after if, we've got past perfect. How to memorize it? I don't know whether you are familiar with the structure of the first conditional. Are you? What's the structure of the first conditional? Any of you can give me example of the first conditional and then the second conditional? Any of you? The first and the second. One example only of the first and the second. Okay, and I have given the example of the first, yeah? If you look at the first conditional, you've got present simple after if, yeah? So we've got if plus present simple. What's the past form of present simple? Past form of present simple, it's past simple, yeah? And how would you call the past form of past simple? You would call it past perfect, yeah? Past perfect. So that's the general idea how conditionals were created. And what else? The second part was will. I will pass the exam, yeah? So the first part is I will in the first conditional, yeah? In the second conditional, we've got I would. Would is past form of will. And what's the past form of would? The past form of would is would have and past participle, yeah? In this way, you can memorize conditionals way easier. I mean, the structure of these conditionals. This is how I see it and how I tell my students how to do it, and then we just practice speaking. They don't have any problems with exercise anymore if they know, let's say, that rule, because this is how it works. It's like a pyramid, yeah, or something alike. Okay, great. Let's move on to the examples. So try to connect the sentences with the right answer, maybe the right continuation, yeah? So try to mark them. If you could write me the whole sentences, it would be awesome, yeah? It would be awesome. So what about first, second, and third? Okay, first C. If I hadn't drunk so much, I wouldn't have had such a terrible headache or hangover. Oh my god, it's sometimes a huge problem, especially on Saturdays. Yeah. 2A. I see that there is a 2A, so if Josh had studied harder, he would have passed the exam, of course. And the last one, C, we got 3B, so Sally wouldn't have broken her leg if she had been more careful while skiing. Of course, yeah. So, yeah, perfect. I see that you don't have any problem with that. And here you've got the answers, yeah, I mean, together with colors. And I see that all of you answered correctly here. So, masters of the third conditional, but we'll see, because I will also send you some additional exercises so that you can practice that what we've covered today. Okay, let's move on further. So, what should be in the first one? If you could tell me the right answer. Remember, after if, what's the structure after if? In first conditional, it's present simple. In the second, past form of present simple is past simple. And what's the past form of past simple? Past perfect. So this is what should be after if. And in the first conditional, we've got will. What's the past form of will? It's would. And then, what's the past form of would? Would have and past participle, yeah? So try to use that method. Maybe it will work for you. If not, yeah, we'll think about something else. You can ask me during Q&A session about some other methods, how to memorize it. Maybe I will come up with something more, yeah, something else. Okay, and what about the first sentence here? Okay, I see that everyone answered perfectly to the previous exercise. So what about exercise? I would call it exercise 2, but if Tom hadn't gone to the university, he wouldn't met Mac. Exactly. That's the correct answer, Ivana. Perfect. And what about the second one? Who knows the answer? Maybe someone apart from Ivana. Yeah, let's hadn't gone, wouldn't have met, wouldn't. Okay, wouldn't go is not correct here. I mean, we always use some other things. I mean, we always use after if present simple or present tenses, past tenses, or past perfect tenses. Yeah, so Henningan wouldn't have met. There is missing have Cornelia. Yeah, wouldn't have met. Yeah, it must be there. What about the second one? If the bus hadn't been late, and what would happen then? If the bus hadn't been late, Eva started very well. Hadn't been late, I would have caught. Yeah, but there is A instead of O. Yeah, Sylvia. If hadn't been late, I would have caught my flight. Perfect, yeah? And so I see that you don't have any problem with that, but would have caught Angelica, yeah? Would have, it's not mixed conditional here. Everything is in the past. Yeah, everything is in the past. So in this situation, where everything is in the past, we should use would have caught, yeah? Okay. And you can see answers here, yeah? So if Tom hadn't gone to the university, he wouldn't have met Meg. If the bus hadn't been late, I would have caught my flight, yeah? And let's move on to next exercise, yeah? So what should be the first one? If I what about the first? from this list, what should be here? I mean, what is what would be the best one? So if I had known, Sylvia, so had known about the job, I would have gone for the interview. I would have gone. The second part is okay. I mean, I know it's possible, but here we've got only past situations. Yeah, only past situations. If I had known, I would have gone. Okay, and what about the fourth? And Carolina had known, yeah, should be there instead of had no, because there should be, yeah, but I see that someone corrected probably that part. Okay, so what about the second one? What about Jill? I don't know what is happening, but probably every time I get webinar, someone likes drilling. I don't know why, but neighbors are, yeah, probably don't like me. I don't know what's the point in drilling this time in the evening, but yeah. Okay, so what about the fourth? Okay, maybe the fourth is a bit more difficult. So Jill would have forgotten about her mother's birthday if her sister hadn't called. Yeah, hadn't called is rather a good answer here. Yeah, hadn't called. Hadn't called. So as you can see on the next one, so the first, if I had known about the job, so past perfect, yeah, the job, I would have gone for the interview. And the fourth, Jill would have forgotten about her mother's birthday if her sister hadn't called him. So the same. That what is after if it's past perfect, and that what is before is would plus have plus past participle. Yeah. So it's only a matter of practice, yeah, of pronouncing it and so on. And the last one. So think about something you've done in your life which you regret, yeah. So imagine what would have happened if things had been different. So for example, you've got, I never went to the university, so if I gone to the university, I would have got a better job. So for example, if I had spent more time on studying, I would Oh, okay. I see your answers right now. Maybe there was some kind of crash or whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's freeze for a while. So what about the next example? How would you finish this one? So if I had spent more time on studying, I would. What would you give here? What would you put here? If I spend more time on studying, I would. I would have got a better job. Yeah, I would have got a better job. I would have passed the exam. Yeah, like FC or CA exam or something like that. Exactly, perfect. And I'm still waiting for remaining. I would have passed an exam or something similar. Yeah. Okay, great. Remember that it should be would have passed. Yeah, would have passed or would have got or would have done something differently, or I would have found a better job. Yeah, I would have found a better job. Yeah, that's the general idea of it. Okay, here are useful resources that you can use, for example, for improving this part of grammar. So Grammar with Free, English Grammar in Use, and Rock Your English. Rock Your English is a YouTuber, and I really recommend watching him like from time to time. And he really nice, he's got a really nice movies, I mean video clips. And right now I'm, let's say, pasting free links that you can practice with the things that we covered today. Because today we've covered third conditional, so the structure, which is if, then. We've got past perfect, and after the comma, we've got subject, and what is next? Would plus have and past, then we've got past participle. Yeah, so it's very similar to the first conditional, but in the past, and then if you got the first conditional in the past, you've got the second, and you've changed the second conditional into the past, then you've got the third conditional. This is what I taught you about, and I hope that you will remember. Right now, I will run 2 poll questions, yeah, so that I will check whether you enjoyed this webinar or not really. So yeah, the first question is there. Okay, and time for the second one. Okay, do you have some additional questions? Maybe you're still hesitating whether you understood everything perfectly. Maybe I should give you more examples. I really encourage you to watch some YouTubers, and the link that I put also there is to BBC. I think that BBC really well explains conditional. So check out this link from YouTube and these exercises which I also provided, and these books and resources. Yeah. What else? I think that's all, yeah? So if you've got some time, just have a look at social media of Tutlo. If you enjoyed something, you can leave a like or whatever. And I thank you so much for today and invite you for my next webinars, yeah? So have a nice evening, and I hope that you learned something new today. Yeah, thank you so much. Bye-bye.